These are your notes on observations and inferences. Make sure you have the fill-in-the-blank worksheet with you so you can fill it in as we go through the notes. You make observations when you use your senses to gather information. Those senses are your sense of touch, taste, sight, smell, and hearing. There are two types of observations. Quantitative observations is an observation that deals with numbers. So an example of that would be like, I have 6 pencils. Or if you measured the desk and the desk is 32 inches long. Those would be quantitative observations. One way to remember quantitative observations is looking at the word quantitative. It has the word quantity in it. So that's one way to help you remember that quantitative observations deals with numbers. The other type of observation is a qualitative observation. These are observations that are descriptive, or they describe the object. Examples of that would be, he's wearing a red shirt, or sandpaper is rough. Those are qualitative observations. So they describe the object. One way to remember that qualitative observations deals with descriptive observations would be to look at the word and notice that it has qualitative. So that's like the qualities of an object. Okay, so let's practice making some observations. Here we have a picture, and you may recognize one person in that whitewater raft in there. So looking at it, we've got a quantitative observation. Some could be that there are 7 people in the raft. Another one could be that there is one person with a blue helmet. Both of those are quantitative observations because they dealt with numbers. There were 7 people in the raft and there's one blue helmet. There's many more quantitative observations that you could make. Those are just some examples. Maybe see if you can come up with some more on your own. A qualitative observation that I could make about this picture is that the raft is blue. Okay, that's an example. Remember, qualitative is dealing with the qualities of it. Okay. Next, we'll talk about inferences. Making an inference is when you try to explain or interpret what you observe. So an example of that would be, let's say you make the observation where you see that Joey is wearing the red shirt. So your inference could be that Joe is wearing a red shirt because his favorite color is red. With the inference, you go a little bit further, trying to explain it. Okay, an observation is just what you use your senses to do. And then the inference is where you're trying to think a little bit further with it. Another observation that you could make is that I smell bacon. An inference that you could then make was that your mom is making bacon for breakfast. Okay, that's an inference. Okay, so let's practice making some inferences about this whitewater rafting picture here. Okay, now we can make an observation that I see 2 helmets. So an inference that you could make is that the other people, because there used to be 7 people in the raft, now there's only 2. So the inference you could make is that the other people fell out of the raft. Okay, that ends our observation and inference notes. Please make sure that you filled in those blanks. If you have not, or you missed something and I went too fast, you're able to pause and go back and watch the video again.